What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to the start of a brand new series here on my channel in, well, not Football Manager, this is Motorsport Manager. This is going to be a new series which comes your way every Sunday, or at least that is the initial plan. This is kind of a pilot episode. I want to gauge interest before I kind of commit too much into a series like this, so if you do enjoy it, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, this is going to be the start of something new. If you've not seen Motorsport Manager before, it's made by PlaySport Games. It's published by Sega, and it's very similar in some ways to Football Manager, but one thing that I have heard a lot about this game is the fact you have a lot more influence over what happens. I myself, I'm not going to claim to be the biggest petrol head in the world, but I do follow F1, and that is the kind of classification we are going to be doing our career in here. And as you can see, we're going to set up our game. So I am going to go with shorter sessions, just because I don't want these videos to drag on too much. And we're going to be using the ICE mod 2017. This removes all the licensing restrictions that PlaySport Games are under. It adds real drivers, player faces, or driver faces in this case, and a few other things. So I think that's going to be pretty useful indeed. So anyway, with this series, the plan is going to be to do a career mode, upload it weekly, and with this, I really want to get your feedback, down in the comments. I want your advice. If you ever watch my Eastside Hockey Manager series, you'll know that that was well received, and one thing I really enjoyed about that was kind of going as someone who knew not a lot about ice hockey as a whole into someone who kind of felt like they could hold their own or at least kind of make semi-competent decisions. But anyway, yeah, let's start, I guess, by creating our guy here. You'll notice I can't have work the space, I can't have work the line, as I did in Eastside Hockey. We're going to go with work the grid. Why not? We're going to have, obviously, United Kingdom nationality. We can change our appearance here. I don't really care about my appearance in the game. Is that a bad thing? Let me know. But yeah, what I might want to take interest in, actually, is our backstory. So we can be an ex-driver, which helps with driver feedback and also driver stat improvement. What else we got here? Ex-engineer, so part design time -1 day. Financial, -5% on all payments. And Politico, basically you can just manipulate all the voting to get rules that you want. You know what? I think we're going to go with ex-driver. I am someone who in these kind of management games, I like kind of developing talent and kind of helping it reach its potential. And it seems like this is going to be the kind of thing for me with the driver stat improvements. So one thing I do want to preface with this series is the fact that I have not played very much Motorsport Manager at all. I've dabbled in just a handful of races, really. I didn't want to go into this series and kind of get super kind of to grips with it and then start doing a series, because I feel like with a series like this, it'll be quite interesting to see me kind of, I guess, get to grips with the game and kind of, learn as I go. And I will be obviously seeking a lot of advice, I imagine, over the course of all these episodes. So anyway, in terms of race series, as I said earlier, we are going to go with Formula 1. And well, now we have our first kind of big question that needs to be answered, and that is, what team do I want to manage? Who do I want to be general manager of? So we've got a few options here. Obviously, we could be Mercedes. It'd be a little bit boring, let's be honest. I could go with Ferrari, a team on the rise going into this year's season in practice. Barcelona, they've looked pretty good. Red Bull, another option, but I feel like they're a bit easier. McLaren, Honda engine, not so keen. Williams, maybe. I don't know. I'll tell you who I am going to go with. I've already made my decision. I could go through all of these. It's going to be Renault. Obviously, Renault had a fantastic spell kind of in the early 2000s, kind of 2006, 2007, 2008, with Alonso leading the way there. And I want to try and take them back to that glory. You can see expected finish 7th. We've got some decent budget, but the pressure, it's going to be high on us. There is big things expected of us. Car performance, it's not the greatest, but we've got good headquarters. And, well, we're going to have to try and make the most, I guess, of what we've got. So Renault is going to be the team we take over. We've got a lovely kind of yellow ensemble. And, well, hopefully we can have a good little time here. As I said, this is kind of my first venture into the unknown. I may have just unintentionally picked one of the hardest situations in terms of a team to take over. I feel like Renault, there's a platform to build off. Yes, the pressure's high, but the payoff's big as well in terms of the money that we have. So anyway, we'll see how we get on here. As I said, I have dabbled just a very little bit in this game, just so I kind of knew roughly what I was doing for these videos, because I figured me going in completely blind wouldn't be the greatest. Anyway, in terms of our drivers, Nico Hülkenberg is going to be our main driver, so I'm kind of excited to get on with him. Jolyon Palmer as well. Decent British racer, someone who I don't know, I thought he was way younger than he actually is. He's like 25. But yeah, we'll see how he gets on. We've got, I think it's Sergej Sirotkin as our reserve driver, so he could be pretty useful for us. Anyway, design facility stuff. I'm sure we'll learn this as we go. You can see here a little bit of information on our drivers. Predicted finish for Hulkenberg is 12th this season, so that's what we'll aim for, I guess, in most races, is to get 12th and 14th for these two drivers. In terms of the actual targets that have been set, they want to come 7th in the kind of team championship. I think we can do that. You know, I don't want to raise the expectation bar too high in this our first year. I feel like this is going to be maybe a little bit of a development year as far as the team's concerned. I'm going to need to get to grips with it all, and yeah, we'll see how we get on here. So we have 3-stage qualifying, nothing new about that. I did notice, obviously, in real life, the F1 kind of car designs have changed a lot in terms of the front wing, the width of the cars and stuff. I don't think any of that's come into Motorsport Manager yet, unfortunately. I don't know if that's something that's planned for a later update. But yeah, that's perhaps something to consider there. But anyway, if we go to the home screen here, obviously, job security secure. That's good. Palmer and Hulkenberg, our two drivers. If we just have a quick look at them here. As I said, Hulkenberg, our main driver. A little bit of potential, perhaps, although he is 28. You can see pretty good driver all in all. Well-rounded. He doesn't really excel anywhere. And he has got a few traits, including losing hope. Oh, well, thank you for being a beacon of positivity, Nico Hulkenberg. We also have Jolyon Palmer, who, you know, good feedback, good focus. Could be a good secondary driver. Because, of course, he is going to be quite good at giving that feedback on the car, which we can then implement into Hulkenberg's car. But, I don't know, that consistency and a few of the other kind of stats there, they're not the greatest, are they? He has got some decent traits, however, so that's good, including refocused, which seems decent. As I mentioned, we've got Sergej Sorokin, who is our second driver. Apparently he's dumb. Well, that's just harsh. But, yeah, he's got potential to kind of fulfill, I guess. You can see here, 4 and a bit stars of potential, maybe. And he's got quite a little while left on his contract. We might have to give him a few races here and there towards the end of the season. We'll see how things go. You know, he is our reserve driver. We're already under no obligation to race with him. In terms of improving parts, I guess that's where we should start here. So we can improve the performance or reliability. I should quickly just have a look. Where do we lie? So we have the 7th best car on the grid. We have some good drivers. Actually, 6th best drivers, 7th best headquarters, staff and sponsors. Obviously, that's low for everyone because it's the start of the season, so we haven't selected our sponsors yet. Should we go to improving parts? I don't know what I want to improve, I guess. If we look here, you can see our performance ratings, I guess. The reliability on the engine's a little bit of a concern, isn't it? Let's start off by sorting out the reliability of a few of these areas. I might not do this engine. I'm wondering if an engine might be the first thing to invest in. Let's just have a look here. So we want to improve the reliability of all these parts because we don't want stuff breaking. But in terms of performance, I'll tell you what, we'll start developing this engine. And what else do I want to improve here? Rear wing, I guess, could maybe do with a bit of improvement. I don't know what these points are out of. I guess they're out of 1,000, maybe? Actually, it says here. It says what they're out of, Jack. That's what the grey number is. So, yeah, we can improve the rear wing a little bit on that part specifically. Suspension could probably do with some improvement, so we'll go with that. There's quite a bit of room for improvement in our suspension. And, well, the reliability isn't the greatest, actually, on that. Let's get rid of the rear wing reliability and put it on suspension. Right, that's what we'll go with. As I said, you know, I'm still getting to grips with this, so I might be rambling on, clicking a wrong button. There might be something else I should have clicked here. If there is, you know, scream in the comments, get angry with me. It better not rain for the Grand Prix. I hope it won't. I wanted a nice sunny trip to Australia to kick things off. Anyway, we'll go with those as the part improvements for now. We can design a new part, actually. So if we go here, we can have a new engine, new gearbox, new brakes, front wing, suspension, or rear wing. So top speed, 9th best on the grid. Right, well that might be where we start. Good acceleration. Deceleration is bad, but compared to everyone else, it's not terrible. We need a new engine. We need a new top speed. Right, so let's get on the engine grind. So we could do a riskier one, which could increase our top speed. What's the risk? Is it worth me going for the risk? Risk of rule break, none. Low risk of rule break. Let's do it. YOLO. I just said YOLO in the first episode. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell, right? This is what we'll go with. We're going to build a new engine. It's going to cost 1.5 million. Bye-bye money. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend on a new engine. It better be worth it. Right, can we continue now? Let's continue. Let's see how we get on, you know. It's a venture into the unknown. It's 2 weeks, I think, until the Australian Grand Prix. And I've had an interview request. Oh, let's have a look at this. Where are we? Where are we? Who wants to interview us? Canal Plus, right. Accept interview. Motorsport is your new home, but it isn't the best team in F1. What's your plan? I want to build a solid foundation. Drivers are happy with that. I like this live feedback. You know, it tells you how happy the drivers are. Hulkenberg is seen by your fans as the top driver. Do you agree with that, or is Jolie and Palmer better? Do I just go with the kind of... I'm lucky enough to have two who are great. Right, let's go with that. Okay, but we please both of them. I don't want to piss off one driver after one race. That isn't, you know, well, not even before the first race. In a season preview, you wrote we would predict to finish 7th. I think that's fair. That's fair. You know, I don't want to, you know, get all the fans and all the drivers, you know, super kind of high expectations that we're then going to disappoint them with. Anyway, I was a fan favourite racer a few years ago. Will I be able to transfer my skills to the management game? I know the ins and outs. Drivers like that as well. There we go. Thank you, work. Thank you, Marcel. Marcel Desailly. I mean, what's he doing in a motorsport game? Is Marcel Desailly like a motorsport kind of correspondent now, and I just don't know that? There's so many questions that are going to be asked this episode. I think that is the most important question, though. Right, anyway, upcoming race report, 16-lap race. Lap record is 1 minute 53. Was that Schumacher years ago? I feel like it was. Right, wind tunnel. We need a new wind tunnel. Let's go to our headquarters. So we have this. So this is where we can, I guess, build new facilities and kind of improve existing ones, is it? How much does a new wind tunnel cost? I mean, 9 million. 9 million. But it does unlock a new thing, which could be useful. Although, we have quite good knowledge of the front wing already. I don't feel like a new wind tunnel's necessary yet, especially for 9 million. Madness. Right, huge anticipation of the season here. I agree. Right, new engine built. Let's check it out. So we do have a new engine, which we can fit. It has 40% reliability. I mean, is that a little bit of a risk in the first race? It's not a massive improvement yet. I mean, I assume we can develop it further. So you see, I could select it. What's the difference in top speed? I mean, look at that top speed in the polygon. That's a problem. It's not a massive improvement. I guess the room for improvement's a lot bigger. Yeah, it is. You can see the maximum kind of performance on this is 836. On our new kind of engine, it's 867. But I don't think we want to do that yet. Anyway, I'm being told sponsors are an important thing. So I feel like our car, you know, it's looking a little bit empty. So let's get this sorted. So first sponsor. What are the options? We've got 16 million from Kmart, 20 million from KT&T. Offer expires in 3 races. I mean, do I just take 20 million? I feel like we do. I assume this is like the star rating of them. So 3-star, right, we'll take that. We'll take that. Upfront payment of 20 million. Right, maybe we can get a new wind tunnel. I don't want to spend all my money, though. I should stress, without kind of not knowing what I want to spend it on. Anyway, other sponsors. L'Oreal, Nestle, Randstad. They want us to finish 10th or above. I think we can do that. And it lasts 12 races. It's only 1 million up front, but 10th or above, doable. I feel like that's the aim. You know, I said earlier I want the drivers to kind of get what's expected of them, which I think was 12th for Hulkenberg, 14th for Palmer. Maybe I'm about to change that a little bit. Anyway, we can have a few more sponsors here. Who do I want to go with? I might go with Google. I want Google on my car. I mean, probably not the best reason to like select a specific sponsor, but it's the reason I'm going with. Puma, Haribo, or EasyJet. EasyJet want 14th or above. There are some bonuses involved there. Or we could have Puma, who won't pay us per race, but they will just give us a big lump sum in advance. I think we'll go with... Do I want to put EasyJet on my car? I do. Right, we'll go with EasyJet. If one of these, again, if I've selected the wrong thing here, if there was one that was glaringly obviously better, in a civilised manner, give me a shout. Anyway, we have sponsors sorted. I'm not being informed of anything else, so I guess we'll just hit continue once more. The race is almost here, right? Well, that wasn't a very long kind of time to prep myself, was it? If we're being honest. Right, I just realised we should probably set the part that we just built onto the kind of improvement for reliability, shouldn't we? So if we put that there, so it's at 40% now. The increase is 0.9% a day. We don't have a big staff impact. Can I get better staff? Is there more staff I can get? There probably is. What do I want to do here? So we're developing this engine. I kind of want to develop my other engine as well. How good is our rear wing? I mean, it probably doesn't need that much development, really. Let's put it on our new engine, because I feel like we are going to need speed. It's probably useful, particularly with our slower car, although I feel like at the Sydney Grand Prix, that's not actually as necessary kind of speed. You can see here, actually, top speed is useful, but it's not crucial. Anyway, I have to select a sponsor. 14th or above for EasyJet for a decent bonus, 6th or above for EMC. I think we'll go with EasyJet. They give us a good bonus as well. Tyre selection, auto pick. I mean, that's quite a big difference between our two drivers on the auto pick. Do I trust them? That's the question. I'm going to trust the auto pick this once. Self opinion, obviously, it's just the standard car for this first race because the engine isn't going to be developed anywhere near enough. Right, let's get to racing. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is a bit flashy, isn't it? Where are we going? Oh, Australia. Sydney Grand Prix. Because this is the race that's happening this weekend. I don't know when this video is going up, if it's going to be up on the Sunday after the race or Saturday before the race. But here we are in Sydney. Look at it. We've got some lovely boats. The weather's looking nice. I don't know what else to say, really. What else is there? I mean, it looks like a fairly straight track, obviously. Is this like the exact layout of the actual track? I don't actually know. We could check. We could. Right. Let's go with Jolyon Palmer and Hulkenberg. This is the practice session. I don't think I'm actually going to take the practice sessions just because I don't want to bore you guys too much. So the engineer recommendation is in green. I mean, it's quite a wide margin of kind of, it wants to be somewhere in this area. I guess it's a case of where do I want to be in this area. I feel like, you know, downforce we might want to sort out. Do we go with something like this? I guess we should go with two contrasting setups for our two drivers. Do I want to put us on the soft or the mediums or the super soft? You know, I think we'll go on the soft tyre. At least on Hulkenberg. We can change that for Palmer, of course. Can I work out from the overlap here where the optimal area is? I don't actually know. I mean, apparently we're optimal here, but I'm not so convinced. I kind of want to follow what our other kind of engineer was showing us. So I think we'll go on the medium tyres with Palmer and the soft tyres with Hulkenberg to try and get some kind of research in here. So if you don't know, with the practice phase of Motorsport Manager, you kind of do a set number of laps, then you get some kind of bonuses unlocked depending on how good your actual practice sessions were, which can then be invested into the race weekend itself in terms of qualifying and stuff. But anyway, we'll see how we get on here. As I said, I'm just going to simulate practice. We'll see how we get on. I mean, where are we here? We're not at the bottom. Well, that's good. Palmer 12th, Hulkenberg 14th. That's where they were predicted to finish, our two drivers, with the season, although it was the other way around. But that's not too bad. Maybe we've hit the nail on the head with the setup immediately. I mean, it's very unlikely. I mean, Hulkenberg's now down in 18th for his fastest lap. So everyone else, you know, they've decided to go hard. You can see a lot of drivers on the softer tyres. Alonso on the Inters. I wonder if it started raining. It probably did. That might explain the speed changes. But anyway, we have to get into qualifying now. This is where, you know, serious business, Q1, or Q3 rather, but the first qualifying session. We need to try and make some magic happen. So Palmer was down in 12th. Of course, the cut-off point for the first Grand Prix, and I guess I should actually explain for people who don't know F1, there are 20 cars on the grid. There are 3 qualifying sessions of varying lengths. The first qualifying session, the top 15 advance. The next qualifying session, the top 10 advance. And then the top 10 obviously have a straight shootout for their positions on the grid. And whatever tyres they use in the third qualifying session are the tyres they actually have to carry into the kind of start of the race. But anyway, we'll see how we get on. Hamilton on top. I hope this season in real life, it's not going to just be Hamilton on top. Like I don't dislike Lewis Hamilton like I think some people do, but I do feel like I want an exciting season. I want a competitive season, particularly with Rosberg no longer racing. But anyway, you can see here practice knowledge, soft tyres developed, racing trim as well for qualifying. I guess we'll go with that for both. I feel like soft tyres is fairly logical. Obviously, with our car speed, the main aim has got to be just to get into the second qualifying session. You can see sponsor objective 14th or above. So we'll go with that. How happy with the drivers with the setup? So speed balance, not happy with. Excellent handling, though. That's pretty decent for Hulkenberg. So we want to try and keep handling in the same spot while, I guess, reducing speed balance. That would be my guess. See, I could change it kind of fairly drastically. That is going to change the downforce. He thought it was great. The engineer thinks it should be in the green, so we'll move that down slightly. Handling sticks in the same spot. Maybe the speed balance is changing too much there. Right, let's go with that. I feel like that, you know, based off what we've learned, is probably good. And we'll go with I think we'll go with the super soft for this first qualifying session. I want to make sure we get through this first qualifying session. So I think we're going to lower the handling just slightly to try and match Hulkenberg's. Although, I don't know, do drivers have separate preferences? I guess they may well do. Apparently the downforce was pretty poor, so I want to lower that as well. We'll go with something like that, I think. Let me know, though. Do drivers have different preferences for the car setups? I mean, I assume they do, so that affects their kind of feedback as a whole. I think for Palmer as well, we'll go on the... I didn't do any super soft stuff, did I? I could just go on the softs. Was it just the soft? It was just the softs that we have 10% improvement in. So maybe I should put Hulkenberg on the softs as well. At least for this first session. We can always change it if they're kind of not quite up to speed. Yeah, I think we'll go with this though. Going into Q1, we'll take qualifying, or Q3. I'm going to keep calling Q3 Q1. It's just going to happen. And what's the weather forecast like? It's just going to be sunshine and rainbows. Right, in that case, let's just get straight out on the grid. Why not? We'll go with that setup that we already did. Soft tyres, same for Palmer. Let's just try and set some initial good times. Right, so one thing we do need to do is we need to try and get our temperatures of our brakes and tyres as optimal as we can. I don't know where we want to be here. I mean, this says it's green. Green seems good. Brake temp is a little bit lower because there's a fair bit of this lap left to go, so we'll see how it is at the end of it. I don't want Palmer to get held up there. Who is that ahead of him? I'm not sure. Tyre temp is like stone cold. Do I want to just push it a little bit more to help the tyre temps? Yeah, your tyres... I've got that, mate. Tyres are cool, everyone. Maybe we should heat them up better before the race. Or before qualifying. Right, I feel like we might be in a situation here going on to our flying laps with our tyres as cold as they were, but we'll see how we get on. Everyone else is on the super softs. Maybe I should be on the super softs. That seems logical now. Maybe I should be listening to the other people and following the crowd rather than trying to be a trendsetter. We'll see where we end up. So the drivers are going to be going in. And we'll change tyres. We'll change tyres. You know, we've panicked here. We've gone on the soft tyres. That was a mistake. We are the slowest cars on the grid. Mistakes were made. But there's time to turn this around. We should have time to get in, change up the tyres. And, well, hopefully sort things out. Because it's not been the greatest start to our F1 time, has it? Let's be honest here. Right. So, Hulkenberg, you are going to be sent out. Excellent, excellent. I think it's just the tyres. You know, he's happy with a lot of the car setup there. Let's go on to the super softs. Send out. And the same for you, Julian. Happy, good, good. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's not... You're not filling me with confidence. But at least Hulkenberg's car's good. So maybe he can get through this session. But, well, both drivers are going to have one flying lap to try and make the magic happen for us. You can see here, sponsor objective obviously is top 15 or top 14, ahead of 15th. But we need to get ahead of this kind of threshold here. I might be warming up the brakes too much here. At least the tyres are at a good temperature now. That's good. Let's just lower this slightly because otherwise we could be overheating everything. Our brakes, they've overheated. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Right, start your flying lap. Maybe I should have slowed it down instead of fast forwarding it. Maybe. I mean, if we go out in Q3, this is going to be... Oh, no, it is Q1. Is it Q1 or Q3? It's Q1. And I've been correcting myself when I was saying it right. Send help. As I said, not the biggest motorsports fan. I know a little bit. Hulkenberg up to 14th. Okay, well, we'll take that. Where are you, Palmer? You're in last. I mean, okay, well, I did screw up your brakes, so that's on me. But at least Hulkenberg's in 14th, right? And they're not going to get around for another lap, so that is what we have to deal with. Can Hulkenberg hold on to 14th? Can we get a car into the second qualifying session? That's the question. I mean, if we finish above our sponsor objectives, I'll be a happy bunny. And with Hulkenberg's car setup, if I can just sort out all his temps, we might be okay. Everyone else is on in-laps. He's going to get there. Well, I feel like that's a little bit of a contrast between Palmer, who probably feels like I've royally screwed him over, and Hulkenberg, who's probably delighted with life right now. I mean, Palmer, you're going to be at the back of the grid, mate. I feel like, as a fellow Brit, I kind of owe you an apology over a cup of tea or something, because it's not ideal. But at least we got Nico through to the next round, so that's a silver lining of sorts, I guess. Maybe we can make something work there. I mean, the car setup's good. I guess that's the main thing. I don't really want to fiddle with the car setup when we have two kind of excellence. You can see a Verline going out. Van Dorn for McLaren going out. Of course, McLaren having a lot of problems with their Honda engine. Hamilton leading the way. Ferrari in second. Bottas, and then Ferrari again. Red Bull kind of on the third line. Of course, we've got Q2 to go into, and we need to try and make something happen here. Hulkenberg's got a good car, though, so I'm feeling, I don't want to say quietly confident, but I'm feeling pretty good if we can get the temperature right. What's the weather forecast? Okay, it's not going to rain or anything midway through. We could go out on the super softs that we already used. They might just fall off a cliff, though. Let's just go with a new set of super softs. And let's make sure that we get the temperatures right here. So I don't want to go too super fast forward, but I do want to kind of see us get into the greens if we can. It seems like brake temp is always going to be a little bit higher than our tyre temp. And it's going to be tricky to get a balance. You can see here the brakes already heating up. I don't want to cool down the tyres too much. It's a bit of a fine balancing act, this, isn't it, with the micromanagement. Trying to get a nice middle ground. Okay, well, it seems like it's a lot heavier on the brakes and tyres in the second and third sectors compared to the first one. Right, perfect brake temp, cold tyre temp. We got one perfect. Maybe you can have a good lap. That's the dream. Can we get top 10? Can we make it into the final qualifying session? Be that Q1 or Q3? I mean, who's this? Who's the Force India giving us a go on the outside here? Look, mate, who is that? Can I click on them? I can't click on them. Who is it? I mean, they've overtaken us. It's not. Why are we racing on a lap? Not ideal. Not ideal. Can't say I'm a massive fan of the fact that we're actually racing on our kind of quali lap. So Sergio Perez, we're on an in-lap now. I am worried we are going to just get leapfrogged very rapidly here. Sebastian Ocon on the regular soft rather than the super soft. Alonso behind us. That's good. You know, we do need to get top 10. It is also worth noting that we don't want to finish bottom in this qualifying session, or we would actually finish below our sponsor objectives. A few cars going slower than us, so we're up in 6th. Of course, Hulkenberg, former Force India driver, so a little bit of beef going on there on that lap that we just set. Do I want to go out again? It's just started raining. That might be perfect timing for us, because that's going to, if the track's wet, that's going to slow everyone down. No one's going to set a fast time. We don't need to go out here. We don't need to go out. The track's wet. Times are going to drop. And because we went out as early as we did and the weatherman was wrong, we're going to get pretty lucky here. It might dry up just for the end of the session with 2 minutes left, but no one's going to go out again. You might think you can do a better lap. You can't, mate. I'm sorry. But we could be about to get into the final qualifying session. I mean, looking at the weather forecast, it's going to stop raining now. There could be more drizzle on the way. There could be more rain. I don't know how well adapted our car is for the rain. I mean, I assume not at all because I've never done a race in it before with this car. But yeah, looking at it here, we're going to be quite lucky. You can see the likes of Alonso, Stroll, Carlos Sainz and Grosjean, they all went out when it was raining, which has screwed them. We went out very early on, obviously, with the likes of Perez, the Ferraris. In fact, only one of the Ferraris. You can see Raikkonen in the pit. I mean, he's probably not even going out again. So Ferrari going to finish outside of the top 10 with one of their cars because of the weather. Drama here in the first race. I mean, we'll take it. You can see actually Vettel and Hamilton at the exact same time. But yeah, as far as we're concerned, good qualifying. I guess we'll just see how high up we can finish with Hulkenberg now. I feel like we might be fluking this slightly. If Palmer was doing well as well, you know, I could claim it was some kind of massive level of skill that I have. But the fact that obviously Palmer isn't here and finished last perhaps implies I'm getting a little bit lucky getting Hulkenberg as high up as we can. But end of the second qualifying session, 7th. So we do go into that last 10. I'm kind of hoping that the track dries up. If I'm being honest, I feel like it could be problematic Obviously, Kimi Raikkonen eliminated. Also, I missed that, actually. Massa in the Williams also kind of ousted. And, well, we go into Q3. It is Q3, so it was Q1. I'm going crazy. Send help. Why would you count down? It wouldn't even make sense. It wouldn't even make sense now I think about it. Right, it's dry again. I don't trust it to stay sunny, so we're just going to go straight out on the outlap. And just try and set the fastest time that we can. Why are these tyres locked? Oh, okay, we can't use the tyres that we used in the previous session. Right. We're going to go out on the super softs. We're going to try and get that temperature right. So I think I want to set the slider really high initially here. And then once we get into the second sector, I want to then slide it down again. That's what I've learned. Although that tyre temp is still really, really low. I don't want to overheat the brakes, obviously. Right, but I do want them... I mean, I want the tyres not to be cold, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that without compromising the brakes, unfortunately. I mean, perfect tyre, overheated brakes. So those brakes are quite heavily overheated. It's not really close. Right. Hulkenberg, show us your talent. Show us your skill. Show us why you're our #1 driver and our main driver. Palmer, look, we just get Palmer's sad face here. He just looks really upset. Fastest sector 1 set by Hulkenberg ahead of Perez. Let's not get too carried away here. Because only ourselves and Ricciardo's now also set a fastest kind of sector 1. I mean, when you're the second car, it's not really an achievement, is it, to set the fastest sector? Now I think about it. I mean, it looked good, didn't it? The purple on screen for just a split second. Hulkenberg gets faster than Perez by a second. That's a really good lap time. Unfortunately, we're a little way off the pace of the Red Bull, which is Ricciardo. I don't think we're going to get another lap in, unfortunately. But we're ahead of Alonso. Verstappen, also in the Red Bull, surpasses us. Hamilton takes the lead, unsurprisingly. It looks like we're going to get maybe a top 8. Magnussen also slower. So we're in 7th at the moment. Do I want to go for another lap? I mean, part of me does. I don't really want to wreck the tyres. That's the only thing. You know, we are running... I mean, we could probably do another lap on these. They've got 2 to 3 laps in them. Let's do one more lap. Let's see if we can make something happen in this final qualifying session. You know, tyre wear should be okay to get just a one more in. I reckon lap wise. I feel like we are going to just have problems trying to get the temperature right for all of this. Those brakes are really hot. I mean, the 2 are closer, I guess, at least. But I'd rather have 1 on perfect than 2 average ones. But anyway, that's what we can do. Stroll has actually gone out on the regular soft tyres, which is interesting. These tyres are fairly worn. They'll start to kind of just fall off a cliff at about, I think it's 25%. So we should be okay for this lap, but it is going to be pretty tight. In fact, they might just fall off a second or 2 too soon, unfortunately. We had to tell when the gap increases. Okay, yeah, they did just fall off. But that's okay. You know, 7th is better than what we were expecting. I feel bad for Palmer. He's just going to be a bit sad. But first race, 7th place as a Renault. A little bit of luck, I guess, with the weather in the second session and the fact we did go out soon. But, yeah, we'll see how we get on. I feel like, you know, Hamilton leading the way, Vettel in second. Verstappen just leapfrogs Ricciardo actually right at the death. Although Ricciardo is still out. So he might try and make something happen. He isn't going to make it happen. And, well, Vettel's on his in-lap. And we're going to get 7th. I'm happy with that. That could have gone a lot worse. I don't know what my expectations were. But that is as good as I was expecting. I don't know where the car is that we're waiting to finish. Okay, he has finished. Hamilton's just enjoying life here. He's pole. He's just doing his little lap of honour for a pole lap. Doesn't really make any sense. Didn't say he was on his out lap either. But is he just showboating? It probably is a Lewis Hamilton thing to do, isn't it? He's probably celebrating the race win before it's happened. You can see here in terms of our sector times, we actually were quicker than than Stroll in the second sector. Just a bit slower elsewhere. Obviously, that kind of speed that we have, just not great. But we did achieve our sponsor objective with one of our cars. I don't know if that means we get half the bonus. I feel a bit bad for Palmer, but well, he'll just have to make something happen in the race. I am tempted to go on 2 separate strategies, actually. Obviously, Hulkenberg is locked onto the super softs anyway. I wonder if we could do a medium. We'll probably have to do a free stopper now I think about it, with the soft tyres. So we'll go with soft tyres and race trim for him. I wonder with Palmer if it might be worth starting on the mediums and try a 2-stopper instead. Oh, sorry, a 1-stopper instead. Obviously, Hulkenberg's really happy with his car. But I'm wondering if we go on the mediums, because we do have the medium performance increase as well. We start on the mediums at the back. Although we might want to be on the softs just to try and set some initial laps. How long's the race? 16 laps. If we go on the softs initially, then switch to the mediums, that'll last us just if our tyre management's good. Okay, we'll go with that anyway for Palmer. For Nico, it's all locked in terms of tyres, so we can't even change that. They're not going to have a lot of life in them though, so we're going to have to pit pretty soon. But yeah, we'll go with that, I think. Driver strategy. I don't really want anyone to push too much too soon, although it might be worth putting Palmer in a higher engine mode to start the race, to just see if we can get a really good start. I think we'll do the same on Nico as well. We're going to have to kind of be wary of fuel consumption as well. But anyway, the grid here, so Hamilton at the start, at the front, Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll ahead of us. So Stroll actually did really well in the Williams car, because we saw Massa finish like 15th. Ourselves with Hulkenberg going to be ahead of Fernando Alonso, Magnussen on actually slightly more worn tyres than everyone else who's on the super softs. Carlos Sainz Jr. with Grosjean did pretty well on the mediums for Haas. Oh, for Haas. Is it Haas or Haas? No, I just said it the same way twice then. Doesn't even make sense. But anyway, that's the grid. Let's see how we go. I don't want to even see Palmer at the back. I feel bad still. Anyway, can we have a good start? Can we have a dream start? It's an okay start. We might be able to... I don't know which Red Bull that was that got off to a poor start. Oh, God. Nico, don't screw up at the start. Where are we? We're down in 10th. 10th. Well, you know, we fought hard to get top 7. It's 3 abreast. I mean, it's a little bit mad. I mean, what has happened there to Nico Hulkenberg? Answers on a postcard. Down in 11th. It's all gone wrong. We'll do a Ferrari on the outside, maybe. It's Raikkonen, actually, he's battling with. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I mean, he's got angry. Censored by the FIA. He's not happy, Nico Hulkenberg, with what's just happened there. Palmer's still in 20th. We had such a good start, and it's all gone wrong. Anyway, Hulkenberg's going to have to pit after 1 or 2 laps. All these cars around us on longer strategies. I mean, it's not really gone to plan, has it, this race day so far? I don't know if Hulkenberg's even going to get an extra lap. I don't think he is. Palmer has overtaken... No, he did overtake someone, then he got overtaken again. Who's he battling with? Is that a Sauber at the back? It's Pascal Wehrlein. I mean, it's not really gone to plan, has it? Okay, yellow flag in sector 2. Sector 2. Did someone go off the track? Ocon's crashed. Okay, well, we're not going to come last. Silver linings and that. Oh, I should have pitted Hulkenberg. I should have pitted Hulkenberg there. And I was too busy celebrating the crash. You shouldn't celebrate crashes. It's not great sportsmanship by me. You are going to have to be very careful with these tyres just to end this. Don't want to burn all our fuel either. Still plenty of racing left to do. I mean, Hulkenberg in 14th. A little bit disappointing. Can I attack a bit more? Palmer wants to go on the offensive a little bit more. I guess you can. You've got quite a lot of life left in these tyres. Let's attack. Full on attack. Let's just make it happen. Don't know why I didn't have him on attack sooner. Now I think about it, really. But yeah, Hulkenberg's tyres, they're awful. 19%. Oh gosh, everyone's just overtaking him. That's my bad, Nico. You know, you've worked hard in qualifying. You've screwed up at the start, and then I've screwed us as well. That pit stop, not too slow, I guess. Who is that behind us? Magnussen. I mean, I assume this flashing power bar means he's got some kind of problem. No, he has no problem. His problem is that he's just going to overtake us. Palmer's up to 13th at least. Of course, lots of cars kind of pitting sooner on not so great tyres. We might be able to get onto the mediums actually with Palmer here for the rest of the race. That could work quite nicely in our favour, and we'll just do a one-stop strategy with the kind of stints that we're doing. Is it starting to rain? People are coming out on inters. It's starting to rain. Right, we're gonna have to stack our cars here. Well spotted, Jack. Do I get any props whatsoever for spotting that? Right, so you're gonna go onto the inters. And then, I mean, Hulkenberg's literally just pitted, but I probably should have paid attention to the weather. We're going to have to double stack our cars, which is not ideal. What's the gap? Okay, there is a little bit of a sizable gap, so that might work in our favour. Are all the cars going to come in this lap? I mean, it hasn't actually started raining yet. Now it has. Okay, people staying out. We might be really really fortunate here with these cars staying out. Where's Hulkenberg? Because he's going to be coming into the pit in a second. See, people staying out in this weather, do they think it's going to pass? Because look at the forecast. It could rain for a little while here. I'm hoping that pitting Hulkenberg twice there is actually going to be worth it. I guess we'll have to find out. Palmer, though, in 16th. I mean, lots of cars ahead to pit as well. Hamilton was in first, pitted onto Inters. I imagine these cars are really going to be struggling with this rain because it is coming down pretty hard now. 10 laps remaining in the race. We're going to have to do at least one more stop. But yeah, still a lot of cars not pitting yet. Clearly not thinking it's wet enough. Okay, I'm going through these tyres like a fat guy who goes through hot dogs. I mean, I eat a lot of hot dogs, but let's not bring that into this. I just wish we didn't change the driving style. There's so much more micro to this game than it looks. Are people starting to pit yet? Yeah, they are. Okay, so a few cars pitting. Palmer up to 10th. Hulkenberg sets personal best. What do I want to do here? I mean, Palmer's up in 10th. He's doing really well. And there's a few cars here ahead who are still on the mediums. Including Verline, who's just struggling for any grips whatsoever. Bottas as well, should have pitted. So the track is drying up, but it is going to get wetter. But it could dry up before the end of the race, interestingly enough. I mean, it has just stopped raining. But it is meant to start raining again. I mean, lots of drama in this race. Lots of thinking to be done. You know, there's a lot of micro to this game. So cars pitting here. I assume there are cars who are going to be going on to the Inters. I mean, we're predicted rain, but the rain's not coming. But the track is still damp, at least now, but it could dry up before the end of the race. How's Nico doing? I mean, he's in 13th. That's not too bad at all. How soon is it going to dry up? So it could dry up within 4 laps. I don't think the lap tyres are going to last long enough. It's going to be pretty tight. I might even set to conserve. Okay, so Stroll's been overtaken. Stroll's still on the mediums, interestingly enough. Track's getting wetter as well. So Hulkenberg's up to 11th now. Palmer's in 6th. He's having a really good race, considering he started last. I want to claim it's some kind of tactical wizardry by me, but I still feel like we're riding our luck. Okay, so the rain is meant to stop now. It's a case of when do we want to pit? When is the track going to be dry enough to go into like super softs to end the race? Palmer's doing quite a bit of tyre wear. See, I'm really... he's on 35%. I reckon pit this lap. Is that a... it might be a lap too soon. It might be a lap too soon. Is the track going to be dry enough by next lap? I'm going to go for it. We're going to go into super softs. Oh, this could be a horrible mistake, but I feel like it's probably worth it at this point. See, there's no more rain scheduled. I'm always tempted to do the same with Hulkenberg, but I'll probably have to do him after one more lap. So Palmer is going to drop here a little bit. See, there are a few cars running mediums now, although they are still losing time. Right, Palmer, you don't need to conserve anymore. He's got 5 laps of fuel left as well, so he can really push this now to end the race. See, I think this might work out perfectly. We're going to super softs as well for Nico. And we'll see how we get on. So Palmer down in 12th. It's a case of, is the track going to dry up enough? I don't think the tyres are going to last on a lot of the cars who went on to Inters really early on. Dilemma. It's a bit damp on track. Ignore. You're playing on the super soft. We're risking it for a chocolate biscuit. I don't care if it's damp. Other cars are going to have to pit in on their Inters. Their Inters aren't going to last until the end of the race. This is all part of the strategy, Jolien. You've got to trust me. Hülkenberg's coming in. Whoever was trailing him also came into the pit. Lots of cars sticking out on Inters. We might be really fortunate here. 4 laps of fuel left. There are 3 laps left. I don't really want to keep it on push for too much longer. See, all these cars are going to have to pit. Bottas just set a fastest sector on the soft, so it is time for dry tyres. Nico, you can really attack now, though, for what's left. Can probably run in a higher engine mode, too. Palmer up to 6th. Really good work by him. As I said, a lot of cars pitting around him. Right, I think we can push our tyres, to be honest, now till the end of the race. We haven't got the speed to hold back the Red Bull who's behind us. That's Pascal Van Dorn. In fact, it's not a Red Bull. What is that behind us? I can't tell. It's all blurry. Is it Toro Rosso? But, I mean, is there anything else left to micro here? Not really. There's 1 lap left. Palmer up in 5th. If he gets 5th, that's an incredible race. Hülkenberg in 11th. You know, considering he started 7th, a little bit disappointed. But Palmer was last. He's just got to hold on for these last few corners. You can do it, Jolien. Whoever that is behind is pretty fast. Okay, it's Hamilton. Well, that explains why he's pretty fast. Oh gosh, these tyres might not actually last. I've just noticed we might have pushed them just too much. Oh, no, Jolien. No, I've pushed them too far. My head's in my hands. Just back everyone up. We might even not have enough fuel. Just battle amongst yourselves. Let Jolien get 5th. Hold on, Jolien, please. No. No, they're just all going to pass him at the end. He holds on to... No, the heartbreak. I'm in tears. I mean, 8th's not bad, but compared to what we could have had. Hulkenberg gets 12th. I mean, it's ahead of what we expected. I just pushed him too far. Daniel Ricciardo wins the race. Sergio Perez in the Force India comes 2nd. I mean, I'm pretty happy with 8th from Palmer, considering he was last to start. But I should have turned down... I should have made him conserve his tyres sooner. Oh, the regrets. The regrets. I mean, you can see here Palmer went for it. And he actually didn't... He probably went on to Inters at the right time. Were we the earliest car to go off the Inters? We were as well. So that was probably worth the risk too. Hulkenberg was pretty standard with a few other cars. Although we did have that extra pit stop. Actually, I forgot about that extra pit stop. Did anyone else do 3 stops? So Alonso did. So there were a few other cars who kind of got stuck in the same trap we were. Magnussen did too. Of course, Ocon, no stops. Crashed out on the first lap. Oh dear. I mean, hopefully the engine doesn't get kind of flagged for rule breaking. Oh, I mean, Palmer, fair play, 12-point increase. Van Dorn did that as well, actually, up into 5th. I can't believe that end to the race. My head was in my hands. I wanted to cry. Oh dear. Right, well, we get 4 points in the Construction and Driver Championship, so that's good. You know, we're up to 6th. That's kind of what's expected from us. Bit of an odd one, actually, to see McLaren as low as they are. And Mercedes really struggling. Really struggling, actually. They had a really poor race in the end. Oh, we should have done so much better. We should have done so... My head is... I want to cry. I'm sorry, Jolien Palmer. I feel like I've let someone down there with that decision making. But I only have myself to blame. Oh, dear. Oh, I want to cry. I mean, any changes to stats? Oh, okay, there were a few little improvements here. Jolien Palmer improving a fair bit in a few areas too. Sirotkin, obviously not really playing that much, not racing that much, so he didn't get anything there. But Palmer, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. The chairman's excited by this. Look at this, we came 6th, and we were expected to come 7th. So he's a happy bunny. We're all happy bunnies. And we actually made some money from the race as well, which is nice. Oh, I can't believe it. We could have had 5th. I'm going to live with regret for the rest of my time. Anyway, IndyCar Roundup and Formula E as well. Oh dear. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first episode. As I said, a bit of a pilot episode, really. If you did enjoy this, if you watched until the end, let me know that you watched until the end. If you enjoyed as well, leave a like. That's how I can tell if people are really into this series. I'll look at the analytics. We'll see how many people watch to the end. Obviously, quite a long video. I might mix up the format, change things up. We'll see how things go, but I do hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, that's going to be all from me. Hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next one. I guess it is me, Jack. Thank you for watching as always, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.